Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. Well, I called my buddy Jigger Jim this morning because I wanted to be able to pass on some of the information about Black Lake. Black Lake is a huge, important part of the fishery of the North Country and of St. Lawrence County in particular. And so I said to Jim, so what can you tell me now? Because I'm going to go on the radio soon. And he said, well, the first thing I can tell you is that people are starting to catch crappies, and it appears to me that they're just starting to spawn. Now, why did he say that? Because there's so many conditions that are relevant to that. But what he told me was something I really didn't know before. He said the crappies they're catching right now are almost black. They're dark, and that means they're males, and that means that they're spawning because they get dark like this when they're spawning. So that's an interesting thing. It's a good thing thinking ahead because Black Lake has some of the best crappie fishing anywhere in the north. Second thing he said is, boy, are there ever pike being caught right now? Now, Jigger Jim works in the log cabin on Black Lake, and he's been the source of so much information on fishing that I've been able to pass on. And the fact that the northern pike fishing has been really good. And he says, MEP spinners seem to be the king northern pike enemy on Black Lake. They always have. And he said, people have their favorite colors. And he said, so they're catching them on a lot of different colors. And I think this is true of all kinds of fishing. We have our favorite color. If it's our favorite, we're going to use it more. We're going to fish with it, maybe even more consciously, more with more intense concentration. I don't know, but the northern pike fishing is good. And I'll have in another report something to pass on about that because it's always been my favorite fish. That can change, but it's always been that way. And I am concerned in other waters. The other thing that Jim was telling me is he said the bass that they caught the end of last fall, because as we know, we can't go out and sort of go after bass specifically. There's no catch and release for bass until the season begins. But he said the bass that he caught last fall, they caught numbers of really nice bass. And he said he didn't see any indication of any of the disease that was really cutting into the population of the bass a few years ago on Black Lake. It really had a lot of people concerned. So I think that is really it's a huge thing, and I'm really glad to hear it. He also told me that his son, Seth, who is an avid fisherman, and I've talked about before, has been spending more time fishing for trout on streams. Now, why? And I think the why is something, again, that I want to delve into a little bit deeper a little bit later on. But the why is there's so many varieties of fishing experiences that we can have in this area, and every one of them is different. Every one of them has its own rewards, and trout fishing on streams is an awful lot different than bass fishing out of a bass boat on a big body of water. But it looks good for Black Lake. It looks like there's all kinds of good things ahead, and I hope if you've never got a chance to go there, you can start at least experiencing what Black Lake offers, because what it really offers to me is it's a lake that anybody can go to and probably catch fish because there's so many different species in that lake, and the whole lake is pretty much fishable. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.